What's going on, YouTube family? So we decided to try something different for this video. One of the things that I know my wife really wanted to do, and I kind of hopped on the bandwagon a little bit too, was we wanted to start a podcast. There's a lot of things we talk about, we like to just ramble about, that we don't necessarily want to put it on a regular YouTube video.
It's not really a video.
Yeah.
Topic, yeah.
So it's really just going to be us ranting about stuff here on the island, whatever's...
Current events.
Yes, current events. That's the right word. This is take one. We're going to see how this works out. Okay?
It's our first day.
First day on the job.
Welcome. Welcome.
So it's currently, what's today? March?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. Woo! I don't have any green on. Aren't you supposed to pinch me or something? Don't I pinch you? Oh, you have green on. Never mind. This doesn't look green in the camera. But anyway. It was a good day.
It was.
It was an off day. No work. Woo! Well, at least it was an off day for me. I mean, I had a little bit of work in the morning, but that doesn't count. So St. Patrick's Day was great. The milkshakes were awesome. We made green milkshakes for the kids here. I only have one, but her best friend came over and we made green milkshakes. They crushed them. It was good. All right, let's hop right into it. We're diddly-daddling around. Okay. Puerto Rico has been nuts the last couple weeks. Let's just get that perfectly clear.
Absolutely insane.
Bananas, nuts, whatever food group you want to throw that in. Bananas, nuts.
The whole food pyramid.
Exactly. So if you haven't heard, if you haven't been keeping up with the news here in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico is now, I guess, a really good hotspot for a lot of people who want to travel. Obviously, there's a lot of restrictions when you want to do international travel that's in place with having to get, I guess, testing to come back. And I get it, people are fed up from being at home, stuck in the houses. They want a break. They need a vacation. And I get all that. Puerto Rico is a phenomenal place to come and enjoy and spend your time with your family. I would never tell anyone not to come to Puerto Rico. However, there is the minority, not the minority, that's probably not the right word. There's a very small group of people that come here and forget, they didn't have any manners.
This is true, yes.
This is crazy. And so, if you...
Which one to start with?
Where do we start? You have fights, hotels being vandalized, Airbnbs being vandalized.
Back up. So pretty much, tourists are coming, and I've never lived here before, but in all the years that I've vacationed here, I've never seen any tourists like this. The people who have lived here forever have never seen tourists like this. And it's a different breed of tourists. I guess they're younger or rowdier.
Yeah, age I don't think it has anything, because you've seen, at least from the pictures and the videos, old, new, old and young people have both. So I don't think it's not a particular type of individual. It's not a particular demographic. It's not a particular race or age or something. It's just a small percentage of the tourists that are coming are just
being very disruptive.
Exactly, disruptive to the lifestyle here in Puerto Rico.
And not just like spring break drunk, belligerent. That's to be expected on spring break or for a vacation if you're with a group of people. But fights in the streets, walking out on all their tabs, fighting in hotels and in public, and
destroying property.
Right, riding their scooters on the
freeway. Let's cut to that right here.
Well, this isn't a.
Oh, we can't cut to that?
We're not cutting to it,
Okay,
but
so-
if you haven't seen the girl on the freeway with her scooter, please Google it. Because
So let's take a step even further back. So how did this all come about? Obviously,
it seems like it exploded in the past couple
yes.
weeks.
So from what I've heard, around this time is when people do come to Puerto Rico and travel. However, due to the international climate of traveling right now, people that want to leave the States really don't have a lot of options.
If they don't want to take a test.
Yes, if they want, they don't have to worry about testing on the way back. You know, you can still go, Mexico, Jamaica, you can go anywhere you want to go, really.
But then you'd have to test coming back.
Exactly, you have to test coming back, and people don't want that headache. And with all of the, the systems that have probably been down or really slow in the States, people that probably maybe wanted to do international travel may not have been able to renew a passport or something to that effect.
And, I mean, quite frankly, the tickets are super cheap.
Exactly. We've been seeing tickets like $40, $50 one way to Puerto Rico.
I mean, it's Spirit, but...
I mean, who cares? I mean, Spirit for terror. Yeah, you get what you pay for. But still, I mean, think about it. If you really want to come to Puerto Rico on a budget, here you go.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Come to Puerto Rico, have fun, enjoy yourself. We're out in the streets pretty much almost every other day.
Yeah.
We're out doing something. We try not to be in the house if we don't have to. Just the other day, we were in Piñones. Saw plenty of tourists, no problem. Everybody was having a good time, drinking, eating on the beach. There is no problem. And and like I said, it's a very small percentage of individuals.
But because it's been happening so often in the past couple weeks, I think it's getting so much publicity, and now people are, I don't know if they're looking for it, but it just seems to be event after event after event.
Exactly, and it's tiring. It's
embarrassing.
It's definitely embarrassing because this is our home now. I mean, we're not Marylanders who moved to Puerto Rico anymore. We live here. We pay taxes. So, I feel that for the few individuals that are,
a few bad apples really ruin it for
the whole bunch.
Yeah,
exactly.
It gives tourists in general a bad name, and I don't really consider myself a tourist. I never really consider myself
we're not tourists anymore. But even still, it's gotten to a point where the governor and the police and they have to now sit down and come up with a plan to figure out how do they control the tourists here. They've now shut down the roads to go in and out of San Juan. I think it's at like 11 o'clock. If you're not staying there, if you don't have proof that you have to be in San Juan for XYZ reason, you're not going to be let in Old San Juan. Mm-hmm. Hotels are now getting more involved with.
Right. I mean, when your chairs are being thrown.
Exactly.
Each other.
Events. That unfortunately are happening at the hotel. They're throwing people out. They're charging ridiculous deposits to get a hotel room.
But I mean, aside from all that, I think the people that it affects the most are, so they want tourists to come, of course, because that's supposed to stimulate the economy, and, Puerto Rico needs help, to be honest.
I mean, tourism is a big factor here.
When you have tourists coming and damaging property or making things worse, you have people who are ruining people's livelihoods in their restaurants or their Airbnbs, absolutely destroying. Did you see the pictures of the Airbnb?
I saw the Airbnb. I don't know if it was blood or tomato sauce on the floor.
It was a lot of something. I mean, you think, damages, we're not talking about a broken light or a broken
we're talking about filth.
Fixture. It's like somebody deliberately went in and just destroyed everything.
There's photos around for Airbnbs, hotel rooms being left in, as they say in Puerto Rico, un reguero. Like it's just embarrassing.
It is.
And in fact, who it really it really hurts as well. It's the majority of the tourists that do come here and have a great time. Yeah. Whether it's families, couples, individuals, whatever.
I can't imagine. I mean, we're out in San Juan all the time, and I haven't seen anything like that in person. Yeah, well, none of the fights or anything in person. But I wouldn't want to be walking around San Juan anywhere with my children and having that in front of us.
Exactly.
No.
This is still a family environment.
Right.
You know? You still want it to be a family environment. And we want people to have a good time and come back. That is the point of all of this. Is people will... A lot of people that come, they're brand new. This is the first time. And they took advantage of the low prices. Or however way they decided to come to Puerto Rico. They're here. Have a great time. You know, explore. Even if it's just San Juan, you'd be surprised at how much
there's so much
to see, so much to do for the kids, for the adults, everybody. And you can have a great time. The problem is you have those few individuals who are now in the limelight. You know, so that's what the news is portraying. It gets to a point where the news is portraying it as if all the tourists are like that, and that's definitely not the case.
Or is it the publicity that Puerto Rico should want or needs right now?
And I know we're going, you know, in circles, but you know, it's upsetting. You know, number one, you know, we try to avoid it now. Like, you know, do I really want to go to San Juan today?
Right.
You know, do I want? You know, maybe I'll go somewhere else.
I won't go on a weekend.
I am definitely not going on the weekend now. I mean, we normally stay away on the weekends just
because... That's why we left Maryland.
Exactly. So
what if you're from the Maryland, Virginia...
The metro area there.
It's like Baltimore.
It's not just Baltimore.
It's like Baltimore.
It's like D.C. too.
It's pretty bad.
D.C. has its own issues too.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like living back home. You know, there was always something going on. And we moved here for a simpler and a calmer life. Now, don't get me wrong, we understand that there's always stuff.
There's crime, there's issues, but those are isolated. That's not... And I don't know anyone who honestly goes on vacation and wants to fight.
Yeah.
That, to me, is strange.
I thought the point of going on vacation is to relax,
right,
enjoy yourself. You know, get a tan, go to the beach, like.
But that's a lot of money to spend if you want to just go fight.
Yeah, you stay home for that. But seeing how it has taken over the news, I think that's the biggest thing. Is that there's a few instances here and there, you know, but
when it's made it to mainstream stateside news, then there's an issue. So my question to you, what do you think needs to be done? How do they handle this?
See, I don't think there's anything that I mean, yes, the
you can't ban tourists. You can't.
No, you don't. You don't want to ban tourists. You don't want.
There's no way to really screen for something.
No,
like that.
No, you can't. What it is number one, the police need to get more involved when there's an incident. You know, we're hearing from individuals who either were involved.
So let's talk about that. Okay,
so here's the incident that I know of where I've spoken with someone on Facebook. And I don't know this person individually, but I did have a brief exchange of words on Facebook. There was an individual that was attacked in San Juan by some tourists because the tourists were riding the scooters and they ran into the back of this gentleman who lives in Condado, and obviously that started a whole scuffle. And it was literally, I think it was like 3 or 4 of these tourists against this one individual, and they pretty much beat him up. And when the police arrived, the police pretty much told them, you know, there's really nothing we can do because by the time we find them, they already have left the island.
Well, that's the same thing that happened when Gabby and I were in San Juan, and they ran over the lady and her dog.
Exactly. It doesn't matter, you know, for that. Okay,
but
we're still, you know.
They don't say anything to the tourists, but they do come after the Puerto Ricans that live here.
Oh yeah, because they can find them because they live here. They got all the time in the world to go find whoever that is, you know, for that. And then they do the petty stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, if you're gonna come to Puerto Rico, if you don't have your test, follow the rules. Go ahead and quarantine until you have your test results. Fine. The other day they were in, I think, La Perla, and they arrested 3 people for not being on quarantine because, you know, I guess they figured out somehow that they were down there during a mass check or whatever. And I'm like, that's what you do. But
not the ones who are fighting them.
Exactly. But you got people who are fighting down the street. You got people who are vandalizing property. And you say, oh, we don't have enough time to go in because they're going to leave the island.
Okay.
But you have time to go find 3 people who are not quarantined who just arrived back from Florida.
But the message that sends is that you can come here and do whatever. And that is not okay.
Yes.
That's not the type of stimulation you want for your economy. That's not what you want on an island.
The police need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just like in the States, you do something in one state, they'll come after you in another. It doesn't matter. Just Puerto Rico needs to step up.
Yeah.
Like you have this police force for what?
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, if they handle it right then and there on the spot, or it takes a day or two, those people are still on the island. They're not gonna go ahead and get into a fight and then rush out the next day.
Handled one situation correctly in our eyes, then that would send a message to the other people, hey, don't act like this, don't do that.
Just like they handle the stuff in the airport. Okay. The stuff that happens in the airport, those people get charges, they go to jail for whether it's a day or week or whatever, they get fines, you know, because if the airport has its own police on the airport, you know, it's different from the police in the island because that's now I think they call it federal property or something like that, you know, because it's an airport, so the airport has their own. And if you do something in the airport, you're going to get arrested. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
I need the rest of the police force of the cities, not just San Juan, but you know, whether it's Bayamón, in Cabo Rojo, in Aguadilla, you know, those places that are tourist hotspots. You know, if something is to happen, you know, the public needs to know that the police are going to be there to handle it.
Right.
Okay.
People live here.
Not to deter people who live here from reporting it or even calling 911. Because then what's going to happen is people are going to start taking things into their own hands, and that's when things get worse. Okay, it doesn't go from just, okay, I got into a fight with some local and then they call the police. It's like, oh, I got into a fight with some local who happens to go get a gun and look for you. Old San Juan is not that big of a place. You can run into the same... What?
We ran into our neighbor.
We ran into our neighbors. The other day, 3 weeks ago, we were walking through Old San Juan, and we literally walked past the same group of ladies 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The same group. Okay, we knew that was them, and we told ourselves like, hey, the battery really cut us off. How rude. Didn't want to come to work today. I promise you guys, I charged the battery. But we have technology. We have other batteries. But anyway, San Juan is a small place. Especially when you're in Old San Juan, Condado, Isla. You can easily run into the same people multiple times in a day or on your trip if you want to. If the police don't get involved, the locals will get involved. And not every local is a nice person. Mm-hmm. Not every local is going to want to use their words. Mm-hmm. And then it's only a matter of time. I am going to almost guarantee it within the next few weeks. Hopefully not, but hopefully if things continue to go the way they're going, in the next few weeks we're going to hear about an altercation between a tourist and either a tourist and a tourist, or a tourist and a local. I mean, some of the things that are happening are amongst tourists themselves. Like the last fight that we saw, it was just tourists themselves fighting. I don't even know if they knew. They probably knew each other, but someone's going to get hurt a lot worse than just that. You know, and that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, if the police don't start to take action and be involved in these cases, that's what's going to happen. Now, the only thing we can do, at least, is ask that people come and respect The same way you wouldn't want nobody to walk into your house and disrespect you and your family and your area where you live. It's the same thing that we can, respect the rules. We have rules for a reason.
Rules. Whether you agree with them or not, I think if you're going on vacation to a certain place, you know the rules ahead of time. You've been informed of the rules. You've gone over restrictions and whatnot, and just obey them. It's really not that hard. You can still have a great time.
Exactly. And if you don't know the rules, shameless plug, subscribe to us. We keep you guys informed of all the rule changes. So make sure you guys subscribe. It's a little the red button down below. Okay? Subscribe. Anytime there is a rule change, we let you guys know. There's a curfew. You guys know that. We've had a curfew for over a year now.
Right.
You have to wear masks. Look, masks are cheap. Bring a few, and then look. You can buy a box of masks from your local CVS or Walgreens or whatever.
Always 99.
Exactly.
Great for 59 cents.
Or you can get the medical ones, like the little disposable ones, like a box of 100 for like $15. Some of the gas stations, somebody's always selling them.
Mm-hmm.
So
they sell them in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street. Get your mask, get your little octopus things, and if you've seen them,
I still don't know what those are about, but if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And aguacate, and you're good to go. You can still have a great time. There's a lot of people coming here.
But okay, circling back. So what do you think that they should do?
Who's they? Puerto Rico in general?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to two things. Number one, it comes down to the police have to get involved.
Okay. The police have to be less afraid to get involved. I think, personally, the reason why a lot of police don't get involved is, one, they don't get paid enough. And two...
No one gets paid enough yet.
No, they don't. Not teachers, not the police officers,
not me,
not doctors and lawyers, nobody.
Nobody.
But
that's a whole nother podcast for a whole other day. Maybe tomorrow. But nonetheless, yes, the police need to step up. And I know you mentioned this the other day. It's because a lot of it could be the language barrier.
But like I was saying, I mean, if you were in
anywhere else,
Timbuktu or Italy or whatever, it doesn't matter what language you speak. The police are going to speak to you in your language, in their language, excuse me, and
if you do something wrong, you're gonna
you know when you're doing something wrong. They're not going to approach you for no reason.
The police need to be involved more. That's number one, plain and simple. Number two,
I think. Sorry, I did ask you the question.
Go ahead. Say it.
That the tourism board, who is advertising, they are pushing people to come here, spend your money here. There are cheap flights and blah blah blah. I think that they need to do their part as well and make it be known that there are rules and that they need to be followed. Just like when you go anywhere. Maybe not.
No, I'm with you. I just feel like, you can only tell people the rules of so much.
Yeah.
I think it has to be personal accountability. Simple as that. Like,
you're not 5.
Yes, you're not 5. Yeah, look, I get it. Alcohol plays a huge part in every instance. Alcohol plays a huge part. I
have never in my life been that intoxicated that I've just wanted to fight the world. Everybody's different, but
now I have to keep in mind all the places I got vandalized, all the bar tabs I got, not paid for. Somebody pays for them. Mm-hmm. All those hotel rooms. I know one hotel room for a fact. I don't remember which hotel it was. We saw the pictures. It got vandalized. The individual, obviously, you gotta put a credit card on file, so all those charges are gonna go to the credit card. And the person who paid for the room, the name has now been blacklisted by Marriott. They can no longer for life rent, for that.
You also, going back to the beginning, you also have to wonder what the people who live in San Juan think. If I have $1 million, because some of those houses are well over $1 million.
Well over a couple
if
million.
I have $1 million residence, and it is San Juan, so of course there's going to be noise and people and intoxication and all of that. But if I had that outside my residence, I would reconsider.
Well, like I was telling you, so there was a story that came through that there was there was a family of some sort that was considering moving here, and in the last few weeks they had, ready to close on a property, a very nicely priced property here in Puerto Rico, where eventually that was going to become their main residence. They were going to move to this island, and because of the news and everything that's going on, they canceled it. Now later on, based on some information from the realtors that were working that put it on Facebook, that property was $18 million. You imagine, number one, the commission on that.
Right.
Whoever the real estate agent was pissed. Okay, but number two, it's another property sold in Puerto Rico, more taxes in Puerto Rico. It may just be one transaction, but it's still
then the next one and the next
exactly.
one.
It's deterring people. That this little bit of news, although I think it's gonna be short lived. I think once I think prices flatten out a little bit better and things can go back to normal, I think a lot of this will go away. And it won't be as big of a news as it is now. But the locals, they don't. This is not what most people, especially if they move from the States or from anywhere to come to Puerto Rico. This isn't what we moved here for.
Right.
We moved here for a simpler and a calmer life. That's why we moved here.
And it looks bad on everyone. We're like, hey, come to Puerto Rico. It's so great.
For what?
And then you come and
I can get all this back home.
An apocalypse.
Exactly.
It's out of control.
So look, if you're gonna come to Puerto Rico, come to Puerto Rico. Have fun. If it's still cheap, whenever you decide to book your flights, take advantage of the flight. Take advantage of the cost. Sidebar: if you're planning on coming to Puerto Rico, book your car rental first. Once you have your dates, book your car rental. I have people calling me now saying, "Hey, I'm on the island. I'm looking for a car. Can't find a car."
Too bad. So sad.
Car rentals go faster, and the prices fluctuate heavily, on car rentals. I'm gonna put the link here in this car. I'm gonna put the little card here, link thing, right here for the video we just did a few weeks ago about renting cars. A little couple tips. Here it is. That should be the first thing you guys do. Book it. You don't even have to pay for it. Just book it with a credit card. $0. Find a nice deal that works for you. Even before you book your plane tickets. Because finding cars here is tough, especially now as we're getting ready to go into the summer. Don't show up here without a reservation. It is tough to find a car. Mm-hmm. You can find one, but it's gonna hit. I think the person that called me and said, "Hey, do you know of any car rentals?" The only one I found was like $400 a day for a tiny thing. So keep that in mind. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. If you're gonna come here, take it. We want people to come here. We want people to have a great time and experience what Puerto Rico has to offer, and hopefully they have such a good time that they come back.
Yeah.
Or even maybe in the future move here. You'd be surprised how many people of all races, ethnicities, walks of life, age groups are moving to Puerto Rico and live here. Especially with the boom of remote work, which is why we're here, because of that boom of remote work. It's a great place to live and a great place to visit. We don't want to deter anybody from there, but we are upset about what's going on recently in the news for the very small amount of people who are giving Puerto Rico and traveling to Puerto Rico and vacation here a bad rap. Mm-hmm. But with all that being said, if you guys want to come here, please have a great time. Follow the rules. There's a curfew. Wear your mask. Do all of that stuff. Yeah. Any last little tidbits? Okay, so I'm going to get off this floor. My butt hurts. And this was fun. I like this. See, at first I was kind of iffy. I'm not going to lie. But this was a great idea that Taylor came up with. I really like doing the podcast. Eventually, we'll transfer them into an actual audio-only podcast system. We're gonna have to work this out now that we've done the first one and see how the audio quality comes out. Eventually, we'll get to that point. But maybe we'll do this once a week, maybe once every other week. I don't know. as things change. We'll see when the next one happens. But I kind of like this. But yeah. Till the next time, you guys, like always, make sure you guys hit the like button. And if you want to see more content here from Puerto Rico and more rants from me and her.
Or if you have anything you want to talk about.
Oh yeah, if you have anything you want to talk about, make sure you guys put them in the comments below and we'll hit them on the next video. My name is Andres. That's Taylor. We'll talk next time.
Bye.